Hello to everyone joining us. My name is Scott, and if you're new to this series, I'm attempting to watch 366 movies this year. For those of you that have been with me for a while now, I'm doing a pretty solid pace. The last time I checked, I was about 6 or 7 films behind, which I think is manageable, I guess. But having said that, let's talk about Hamilton. Hamilton stars Lin-Manuel Miranda, Leslie Odom Jr., Davy Diggs, Philippa Soo, and just so many others. And it was directed by Thomas Kail. At this point in its life, the story behind Hamilton is the stuff of legend. So taken by Ron Chernow's biography of Alexander Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda locked himself away writing a musical based on the life story of the scrappy immigrant turned founding father. The resulting musical would blend elements of hip-hop, rap, R&B, British pop, and classic Broadway in a style that is radical while at the same time being fitting to the ever-changing style of Broadway. To go along with this radical aesthetic, Miranda and Kail put together their cast without considering if their actors quote-unquote looked the part. As Miranda put it, Hamilton is the story of America then, told by America now. Their cast looks like America now. So roles were given to who was best for the part, not necessarily who looked most like their real-life counterpart. After spending time off Broadway, the musical went to Broadway, winning 11 Tonys while there. The feature film is the live performance of the musical on stage at the Richard Rodgers Theater in New York City. The film was shot over a 3-day span in 2016, right before the original cast started changing over. So first, a little background on me and my background with the show. I've heard the original cast recording album many times, but never had the chance to see the show on stage, although I really wanted to. So while I'm familiar with the show in a musical sense, I'm going to go into the show blind in almost every other sense. So let's start off talking about the show itself. So many words have been written about Hamilton at this point that I can't begin to bring anything new to the table. The musical is wonderful, the story is compelling and tragic, and the acting is brilliant. The music has a way of bringing forth a barrage of leitmotifs in both word phrasing and musical flourishes, which connect the various music styles. When it comes to those stylings, the music has a way of seeming both unexpected and totally understandable. It makes sense that King George would sing in a British pop style. It makes sense that the Schuyler sisters would allude to the sound of Destiny's Child, or that the cabinet meetings would play out as a rap battle. Since we're dealing with American history, these are completely outside-the-line concepts, but it works within the world of Hamilton. The acting is superb by the entire company. Miranda, who plays Alexander Hamilton, and Leslie Odom Jr., who plays Hamilton's would-be assassin Aaron Burr, are great together. Odom's seething anger over Hamilton's ascension is palpable and boils over throughout the show as what starts as annoyance morphs into frustration. The standouts for me are Philippa Soo as Hamilton's wife Eliza, whose show-stopping moments are heartbreaking and transcendent, and Davy Diggs as the dual roles of Marquis de Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson. He steals each and every scene he's in, especially as Jefferson. Hamilton proves the old adage that sound is only 50% of the picture. If I were to say that the imagery of the film gives you a better sense of the drama in Hamilton than the cast recording soundtrack alone, you'd probably think, well, duh, no doubt it does. But even if you were in the Rodgers Theater on opening night, depending on your seats, you wouldn't notice the multitude of side glances from scorned lovers, little smiles, or laughs that the film captures. That layer of acting may have been lost to anyone further than a camera's lens. That added layer adds a lot of context to the songs within the musical. You're not getting that from the balcony. Being that intimate with an actor allows the viewer to connect with a character on a different level. This makes songs like Burn just brutally emotional, and the happier moments in the show that much more triumphant. But all of this would be lost if the film's direction got a little weird. How the film would be cut together was what made me the most nervous about the film adaptation before sitting down to watch it. But it didn't take me long to realize that I was in good hands. The film could have easily been cut, but Cale, along with editor Joda Moran, did exactly what they needed to do. They needed to capture the performances without being distracting, be cinematic without being annoying about it. The assembly of Hamilton is flawless, with Cale and Moran crafting without obstructing, showing without forcing. They're able to show the entire stage when needed, but also do something inherently cinematic, like shot reverse shot. Saying that I didn't notice the editing is the best thing to say about a project like this. The assembly has a groove to it. Cale and Moran fit the timing of the songs perfectly, showing us what we need to see, but not getting out of control with the editing to the point of being a hindrance to the story. They just knocked it out of the park. Before Friday, I always wondered what a full-fledged film production of Hamilton might look like. What kind of sets would they get? Where would they shoot? Would they have to recast any of the roles? This film stopped all of those thoughts in their tracks. Miranda and Cale have been allowed to have their cake and eat it too. This is the definitive film version of Hamilton. They got to make something cinematic while also being undeniably a stage production. They got the cast they wanted for a film version by keeping the cast they had. This is Hamilton, definitively. Doesn't matter if you're new to the material or you're an old pro, the film is streaming on Disney Plus right now, and I fully recommend that you check it out. I went into the film already loving the music, and now I'm gonna go back downstairs and watch it again. The film version of Hamilton is nothing short of a work of extreme genius. All of my links to social media can be found down below in the description. I really hope that I've earned your subscription, and you'll join us again when I watch more movies and then review them, I guess, or something. God, I need an out cue.